Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who seem to build lasting wealth often live completely differently from what society tells us to do. In fact, some of the habits that keep ordinary people stuck are the exact habits wealthy people refuse to tolerate. And here's the surprising part. Most people repeat these behaviors every single day without even realizing they're slowly draining their future. Today, I want to show you 5 things wealthy people refuse to do that everyone else does without thinking. Number 4 might completely change how you see success. And if you stay until the end, you'll discover one mindset shift that separates people who build wealth steadily from those who spend years wondering why nothing changes. Imagine 2 people. Both earn similar incomes. Both have the same 24 hours in a day. Both face stress, bills, responsibilities, and uncertainty. 10 years later, one is financially secure, calmer, and more confident. The other is still struggling, still worried, and still waiting for life to improve. What created the difference? Often it wasn't luck. It was what they consistently refused to do. If you found value in this video, share it with a friend or family member who is working toward a better future. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's get into the video. The first thing wealthy people refuse to do is spend money to impress people. Think about how common this is. Someone buys a car they can barely afford. Someone upgrades their phone even though the old one works perfectly. Someone spends money they don't have trying to create an image they can't sustain. Why? Because deep down, many people fear being judged. They want approval. They want validation. They want others to think they're successful. But wealthy people understand something powerful. The people you're trying to impress are usually too busy worrying about their own lives to think much about yours. Let that sink in. Many people sacrifice years of financial progress for a few moments of social approval. Meanwhile, wealthy people focus on ownership, not appearance. They understand that looking rich and becoming rich are often 2 very different things. Here's a quote worth remembering. Every dollar spent on impressing others is a dollar that can't work for your future. Imagine choosing peace over pressure. Imagine buying things because they improve your life, not because they improve someone else's opinion of you. That's freedom. And freedom is far more valuable than temporary applause. The second thing wealthy people refuse to do is depend on a single income source. Now, this doesn't mean everyone needs multiple businesses. That's not the point. The point is resilience. Imagine sitting on a chair with one leg. Would you trust it? Probably not. Yet millions of people place their entire financial future on one paycheck. One employer, one source, one stream, and if that stream dries up, panic begins. Wealthy people think differently. They understand that security comes from options. Maybe it's a side project. Maybe it's a skill. Maybe it's investments. Maybe it's creating something that generates value beyond their main job. They aren't obsessed with working more. They're focused on creating flexibility. Because they know something many people learn too late. Income is important, but having only one source of income creates vulnerability. Here's a powerful quote. Security is not having one strong stream. Security is having several streams flowing at once. Think about your own life. What skill could you improve? What value could you create? What small step today could open a door tomorrow? The goal isn't overnight wealth. The goal is reducing dependence and increasing possibility. Now let's move to number 3. This one is incredibly common. Wealthy people refuse to follow the crowd blindly. Human beings naturally want to fit in. That's how we're wired. When everyone around us spends, we spend. When everyone panics, we panic. When everyone chases trends, we chase trends. But wealthy people understand something dangerous about crowds. Crowds are often emotional, and emotional decisions are rarely the best decisions. Think about it. How many times have people bought something simply because everyone else was buying it? How many opportunities have been missed because people were afraid to be different? How many dreams have been abandoned because the crowd didn't understand them? The crowd usually notices success after it happens. Successful people often notice opportunities before everyone else does. That requires independent thinking. Here's a quote that can change your perspective. If you think exactly like everyone else, you'll likely end up exactly where everyone else ends up. That doesn't mean being rebellious. It means being thoughtful. Question assumptions. Think for yourself. Learn before following. The ability to think independently is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. And now we're approaching number 4. The habit that quietly changes lives. Wealthy people refuse to complain without taking action. Now let's be honest. Everyone gets frustrated. Everyone faces obstacles. Everyone experiences setbacks. That's normal. The difference is what happens next. Many people become trapped in a cycle. They complain. They blame. They vent. Then they repeat the same pattern tomorrow. Wealthy people don't ignore problems. They simply ask a different question. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can I do about it?" That question changes everything. Because action creates movement. Movement creates progress. Progress creates hope. And hope creates momentum. Here's a quote worth writing down. Complaining describes the problem. Action changes the outcome. Think about a challenge you're facing right now. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's uncertainty. What's one small action you could take today? Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Because small actions repeated consistently often produce extraordinary results. And now we arrive at the final point. The one many people never expect. Wealthy people refuse to chase every opportunity. First, this sounds strange. Shouldn't successful people pursue every chance they get? Actually, no. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is because they're constantly distracted. A new trend appears. They chase it. A new opportunity appears. They chase that too. A new promise of quick success arrives. They run toward it. Soon their energy is scattered everywhere. Nothing receives enough attention to grow. Wealthy people understand the power of focus. They know that saying yes to everything often means saying no to excellence. Success is less about doing more. It's often about doing fewer things better. Here's a powerful quote. Opportunity becomes valuable only when focus turns it into results. Imagine planting a seed, then digging it up every week to plant a different one. Would anything grow? Of course not. Yet many people do exactly this with their goals. They quit too soon. They switch too often. They lose patience. Meanwhile, focused people keep watering the same seed until it becomes a tree. Now imagine your life 1 year from today. Really imagine it. You stop buying things to impress people. You become more intentional with your money. You develop additional skills and opportunities. You think independently instead of blindly following trends. You spend less time complaining and more time acting. You focus deeply instead of chasing every shiny distraction. What happens? Your confidence grows. Your stress decreases. Your decisions improve. You feel more in control. Not because life became perfect, but because you became stronger. And here's the deeper truth behind everything we've discussed today. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about behavior. It's about discipline. It's about learning to choose what matters most over what feels good in the moment. Most people spend years searching for a secret, but often the secret is hidden in what successful people consistently refuse to do. They refuse to waste energy on appearances. They refuse to depend entirely on one path. They refuse to surrender their thinking to the crowd. They refuse to stay trapped in complaints. And they refuse to let distractions steal their future. The gap between ordinary and extraordinary is rarely created overnight. It's created through small choices repeated over time. Every day you are becoming someone. The question is, who are you becoming? The people who stay stuck usually wait for perfect conditions. The people who transform start with what they have. One choice, one action, one improvement at a time. So before you leave this video, I want you to do something simple. Which of these 5 habits challenged you the most? Share your answer in the comments. Your response might inspire someone else who needs to hear it. If you found value in this video, share it with a friend or family member who is working toward a better future. And if you enjoy content that helps you think smarter, live better, and build a stronger mindset, make sure you subscribe. Remember this, You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to keep moving forward. Because progress beats perfection. Every single time. And your future is built by the choices you make today.